Hey guys, so my best friend, whose name is also Jennifer, she brought it to my attention that I should probably do a video on my worldview, and so I'm going to do that, and hopefully you'll understand what I'm talking about. Most people in my immediate family, however, do not understand and cannot really come to terms with my worldview. So it's been difficult in that respect. So my best friend, by the way, she lives in Brooklyn, and she works in Africa part-time and then goes to school as well, and is still working for the African Peace Building Network. Shout out to you guys. And then I have two other best friends as well, and one lives in Chicago and the other one lives in South Australia. So, yeah, I believe, based on my own personal hands-on field work of not only living in different places, but meeting a lot of different types of people and seeing the way that they live and observing the way that they live and interact with each other on a family basis, as well as in every other way, like how their health is, what they eat, what they do, how they conduct themselves, how they treat people, and like how healthy they are, you know. So how well rounded they are, or just what the type of person that they are. So I would say that, like I already tried to explain, but probably didn't do a good enough job, I would say that the third world is definitely 300% safer than the first world moving forward. There's a lot of misunderstandings and stereotypes about quote-unquote poor countries, and a lot of there's a lot of design and organization behind which ones are poor and which ones are wealthy, right? And then all of them happen to be in debt, so it's just like and I find it to make sense that everything is inverted because it's an inverted system. So you kind of have to counteract the inversion by creating your own form of light and what makes you feel good again, what makes you feel light again, inspired again, happy again, like what makes you feel blessed again so that you can just move forward, you know? And I've only experienced my happiest, brightest times while I was living in third world, quote unquote, poor places, and when I was traveling through these places, third and second world. I was fascinated. I was just so blown away by the incredible ways of living and the fact that these people were living such brighter, healthier lives. And it was across the board, even though they were, quote, poor. It's not true. That's what I'm trying to say. Those distinctions are not true. Just like how just because you feel sick, that doesn't mean you should automatically run to the pill section. There are many inversions that you have to pay attention to. And one of them is where you're located and how you're viewing the world and how you're viewing how safe one place is over another, and the criteria that you're using to establish your thoughts on what is considered safe to you and what is actually safe. I'm finding that what people think is safe and what's actually safe are two completely different things, and that most people, like other subjects, are not looking deep enough into it to be able to really know the essence of a healthy, balanced life, because there are drug dealers in Rio, in Brazil, and they are making in between 43 and 53K. Sorry. They're making like 3 times that amount. So they're making just under 200K every 2 weeks. So the main 2 people have to pay out in between 43 and 53K every 2 weeks. And these are the types of numbers that they're working with. And so people who think that quote unquote third countries are poor, well, you better guess again. Know who you're talking to, know what you're talking about. Have you ever been there? Who do you know? How do they live? Like, these people that I know that are together these people that I know that are married and that they have families together, these people would never divorce or allow any cheating or anything of the sort to go on, like I seem to see so often here in this first world setup. It's like more common for divorces to go down. It's more common for people to be violent, for increased negativity and stuff, like because of the radiation and because of like the messed up food and everything. Like, we know what's going on and we know what we're up against here, but it's just like how you process it is a different story, and how you understand your reality is a different story too. So just to bring it back down to earth here, I find it fascinating to go to places that I've never been before, and I'm really attracted to the way that people's social structures are played out in reality, and I love to learn about their traditions and their family structure and how they treat one another. And I'm saying that the third world might look harsh and dangerous from the outside, but once you're there, you know that yes, you do have to be aware, just like you do here, but you're given a more open and free chance in a third world country to actually have a well-rounded, holistic healing process, which then creates a brighter lifestyle and a healthier way of living. because you're eating fresh fruit and fresh vegetables that was just picked from the garden. And I know that you can quote unquote do this anywhere, but you don't have that access to do that anywhere and also have a community support system. I don't think those two things come together in the first world. Only in the third will you find a family unit slash extremely strong community system paired with the fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. Every single day, you're happier. You feel excited again. And so that's what I'm experiencing because I'm preparing for village life. And I'm preparing to wash my clothing every day by hand and wash all the dishes. And, well, I always wash all the dishes by hand, but I'm saying wash all of the family's dishes that I'm going to be staying with if they let me. I want to be able to like help them wash the store because they own a store. I want to help them clean the store, organize everything, take care of the kids, and basically learn what it's like to be a woman to start in that village, because I find it fascinating that I had to do so much institutionalized work in the village first, and I didn't even have time to fully grasp or understand what it was like to be a woman. I did go to a lot of different females' homes and spaces, and like I was around them and their kids all the time, and I observed their working lives, but I didn't really get enough of their home life, and how much cooking and cleaning they had to do. And then I did find that because they have such large families and such strong communities, they're able to get the work done with ease because there's so many more people on deck and on hand who are open, ready, and willing to help that person as if it was for themselves and as if they were, true family, because they are true family and because they actually treat each other the way that people are supposed to be treated. Like they're your family, like they're your brothers and sisters, as if you would do for yourself what you're helping that person, and as if you would do for your own blood, or as if you should do for your own blood. And so this is what I'm talking about when I say that this by default makes the third world a safer place, just in the health aspect alone. And we didn't even get to the climate reasons. The economic I touched on a little bit, because those people are getting paid. That's where the produce originates. That's why the Middle East has so much money. This is where the raw materials are located. This is where they are sourced from and grown. So these people are getting paid in different ways that that the first world is not aware of, and also they've done a good job to try and separate out the two, and make so many disgusting stereotypes about them. Like, for example, that African doctor that I know, he's from Nigeria, but he shits on the third world. He makes fun of the third world, and I'm just like, you're such a spoiled bitch. I cannot with you. And if I ever saw him, dude, it's a done deal. So now you know how loud my neighborhood is. You guys heard that, right? Yeah, so I just want you guys to know that you cannot be scared of the third world design and structure moving forward. And you need to start thinking outside of the box ASAP and break away from the chains. Don't allow yourself to drown in the flood, and don't allow yourself to fall for what the majority are falling for. I never felt safe in the majority. And I always felt a sense of adventure, and I always felt like I was living my life, and I always felt as though I was learning more when I'm traveling. It feeds my soul. It feeds my soul to see these different communities and the way that they're organized, their architecture, their art, their language, the way they dress, what they eat, what they look like, and just like everything. Like, and they always tend to be so much nicer, and like so much they're more full of warm-hearted light, and you know, you can just laugh with them all day, even though you're standing in a pile of trash. You guys are still laughing because it's just so perfect there. And they have everything at their fingertips. Like, another thing that I want to learn this time around, other than all of the female traditional duties in the village, and the cooking, the cleaning, the working, the raising the kids, and then just their perspective on everything. After that's done, and after I do everything for Tu Shao, I will be interested in making bricks down at the river, because they make their own bricks at the river, and then they make brick homes, and then those brick homes have straw roofs. However, if you have enough money, you can get a metal roof installed on your brick home, and then you'll have solar panels along the entire metal roof. So there are different levels, different possibilities, even within village life. Not everything is the same, and not everything is kept traditional. They are living it's kind of like being close to nature with respect, at the same time as, how to explain it? It's like they seem like they're cut off. They seem like they're cut off from electricity. They seem like they're cut off from money or food or something, or resources, but really they're living in pure and utter abundance. So they have multiple family farms. There's many members of the family, so there's always help on deck. And then there's a lot of extended family as well. They do still travel. They do send their kids to different parts of the country for school. So there's a lot going on, especially once the kids turn like 16. There's like nowhere for them to go in the village anymore, so they get sent to this place that's 2 hours away. And what was I gonna say about what I wanted to learn? Oh yeah, so I want to learn how to build their houses. I want to learn how to do that, even though for them down there it's a traditional men's job to learn, to build the house. Literally. I love it. But I would like to learn how to make the bricks themselves. Not exactly lay the bricks, but build the bricks themselves. Why? Because my favorite part, there's so many helicopters and airplanes, so I'm sorry about the sound, but my favorite part of the art world is, and my favorite medium, has always been, since I discovered it, clay and ceramics and pottery work. This is my absolute favorite thing in the world. And those bricks are coming from clay from the river. So basically it's the same thing as the clay material, and the same process of having to let them dry in the sun for days. And then, yeah, so just learning that and figuring it out from there. So that's about all that I have for you guys. I just wanted to inform you of my firm understanding of society as of the last decade. It has been made clear to me that the third world is safer than the first. And it's not really whether you want to believe it or not. I'm basically giving you the facts. So just take the necessary time that you need to digest it and then make your decision from there. Okay, love you. Bye. Ciao.